Grand Rising, Elizabeth.
Good day, good day.
Grand Rising, my sisters.
There we go. Trying to get this tech side, trying to be the recording studio and everything, right?
All that.
I am all that. I
All
am
that.
that I am.
I am that.
I am
Amen.
that I am.
I
I
that
am.
I am.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We welcome this Thursday, and I'm just going to turn it right on over to my queen sister love, Nawili Griffin.
Good day, good day. Happy new day to all my Elizabeths. And I'm just so grateful to be alive and awake. And so, my segment is called Run, RUN. And as my beloved friend, songwriter extraordinary Elizabeth Friend says, the way in is the way out. So that's basically how the notion came to me is the way out, the way in is the way out. And it's about the stories that we share with ourselves and also the stories that we allow ourselves, give ourselves permission to share out loud with others. So today's subject is about our journey into remembering that we are prospering women. And when I put the ing on there, that means we're still in motion. It's not a destination. We're prospering. So I want you to begin to think about what your definition of prosper is. And when I think about and go through my book of prosperity stories, I'm always reminded of definitely how far I have come and right where I have landed right now. And I can say my Plymouth Rock right now in the material world is Detroit. And I have so many gifts that I am allowing myself to express and share with the world. And my team is composed of my beloved sister I've met since I've been in Detroit, Lily, her daughter, Ayana, and my beloved friend, Nyoka in California. So it's also her birthday month. So we're sending her lots of Earth Day love. Nyoka, she's probably asleep, but we're just sending her all the love we can. So I also have two guests that will be coming on today. It's so wonderful to this technology, the connection with Queen Aduni that my sister April is on. She's on the way to her wonderful April's Life in a Bottle juice business, but she's listening in. I mean, it's an early hour on the West Coast, but still the support and the love that I've been given when I say I'm getting ready to jump in this water. I have so many Elizabeths that are like, okay, girl, I don't even need my swimsuit. I'm ready. Then we just go and we just go on forward. So, I'm truly, truly so blessed. So blessed. So I I love Peace setting off our tone on Mondays because she always gives us a great affirmation. And so she said to look in the mirror every day and say, I love you to yourself. I accept you. So I just want everyone who's on the call or who gets to see the recording to put their hands in front of them, to look in their hand as if it's your mirror. Hold it before you. Behold yourself. And we're just going to affirm aloud, I love you. I accept myself. We're going to do it 3 times for the power of the number 3. So let's place our hands out in front. Let's put that smile. Let's know we are all that and a bag of Utz chips. Some of y'all know what Utz are. So we're going to look into the mirror and we're going to inhale. Exhale. And let's begin our vibration. I love you. I accept you. Again, inhale, exhale. I love you. I accept you. And one more time, inhaling, Exhale. I love you. I
I
accept
love you.
you.
I accept you.
Ashe. So, again, I always go, I'm not as much a wordsmith as my sister who was on yesterday, but I always go to sources where I'm thinking, what's my working definition or what's going to be my foundation? And so for me, being a prospering woman brings up my successes. And, the other side of that coin is where you missed the mark or quote unquote failed. I'm gonna call those bunny hops. I'm not even gonna call the word fail. We're in places and spaces in my life where I'm flourishing, where I'm thriving, where I'm just in constant moving, going ahead and seeing the abundance in everything around me. And for those who haven't met me personally, know the reason I am in Detroit is I'm an artist in residence at the Heidelberg Project, a 36-year-old community outdoor installation project. And how I got here is truly a part of a prosperous journey. Faith and just jumping on the horse and saying, I'm either going to ride rough, I'm just going to ride smooth, I'm just going to ride and glide. And I have landed here. So I'm not going to talk too much more about my stories because I want to hear you all share, because that's what this time is about. But I want to read an introduction of my friend, beloved friend, who's an amazing, amazing woman, and my Elizabeth. Her name is Georgette Powell. Affectionately, I call her Georgie. Georgie got more energy than 20 Energizer bunnies. She has a heart of gold, a soul that's on fire and passionate for her community, for her dreams, her goals, and her desires. So let me read the what I'd like to share. Georgette Powell, or as I know her as Georgie, is a second generation owner of Mel's Fish, which was started by her late great father, Mel, in the historic Crenshaw district in Los Angeles in 1982. She took over the business after graduating from UC San Diego in 1990, where she studied psychology. She is well noted in our community there, collaborating with organizations that support the youth, that support our seniors and the homeless. She has and continues to dedicate her life to supporting her father's legacy and enjoys preparing the Southern favorite and of generations of families that have thrived on this for the past 39 years. She is a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. She enjoys tennis, my favorite sport, and when she has time, spending time with her dog, Kai. She's, I can't say enough about her. I'm actually getting those wonderful chill bumps. Her energy is infectious. She is a spirited woman who walks the walk and not just talks the talk. So without further ado, I'd like Georgie to be zoomed in. I love you, Georgette.
Let's everybody unmute themselves and say welcome to her, our sister.
Welcome,
Welcome,
Georgette.
Georgette. Hey,
Welcome.
Georgette, welcome.
Welcome, Georgette.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Oh. Can you guys hear me?
Hi, Georgie.
Hi, good morning. Hey, girl. Good to hear you. It's April. Hey, Georgette. April. My April?
You're
Yep.
April.
Yep.
Our April.
My juicing April? Yep. Hey, what's up? Oh my God. We're both in the same time zone. How's everybody doing this morning?
Doing quite well.
Great.
Wonderful.
Great.
Wonderful.
You guys are so
Yeah.
quiet. You guys are so quiet.
Everybody's on mute, and that's why I said unmute yourself.
Oh, wait a minute.
Happy Thursday.
Can
Now,
everybody be
Willie.
unmuted? Can everyone be unmuted? Because I don't want to be the only one talking.
Now,
Oh,
Willie.
yeah, we do what you
Sure.
say.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes,
hear you very well.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I can hear everybody. I can't. I'll feel like like I'm in
Okay.
a lab or something. So,
Georgie.
good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
Good
Georgie. I'm Mrs.
morning.
Blackstone.
Happy
Thursday.
Now, when Willie called me and said, "Oh, we have our Elizabeth, group, and I want you to come say a few words or whatever," I was like, "Well, I don't want to do all the talking." So, I mean, I think I have a lot of things to say, but I just wanted to be supportive of the group because I think this is really, really, interesting, and I think that we need to take time, every morning, as I do, with ourselves, to just kind of like, set things straight and set our intention for the day. I'm personally battling diabetes, so I have to have a talk with myself every morning. Because I'm determined to get myself off of this medication. So like the first thing I do when I wake up is I tell myself, that you can do this. So I'm on this program with this doctor that has been proven to reverse diabetes, and I'm actually working with. I have an accountability partner. She's actually successfully, gotten off of the diabetes medication, and her numbers are right, and and she's healthy now, and she's been off of the medication for like 3 years. So just being a part of this, being a part of this group this morning, and just kind of like affirming, everything good and what's right and what the Lord has for us is like my main thing. Because after running this business for 40 years, it will be 40 years old in June. And I was 15 when we started the business. And, there've been a lot of ups and downs. So, I've just learned as a practice, like what you guys are doing, on these Thursday mornings, or do you guys only do it once a week?
No, every day.
Oh, every day.
Different hosts. Uh-huh.
That's awesome. Because, I don't know, I wasn't really trained to do this. It's just something, it was a learned practice, and I think it's really important, as we grow, we there can be a easy learning curve and a hard learning curve, right?
Yeah.
And so this has really, when I deal with my Western nurse practitioner, we have a call this morning, she's telling me that she's affirming that I'm gonna have to go back on insulin. I'm like, no, I don't. I got myself off of insulin already. I got myself off of one of the medications, which is insulin. So I don't know why I'm going into all this, but this is what we're talking about.
Let it
We're talking
go.
about
Yeah.
health. Because our health is wealth, right? So,
yes.
So she's, saying that, well, you might have to go back on insulin. I said, no, lady, you don't have the last word on this. I have the last word on this. I have the last word on this. And so I have to just make sure that every morning, just like, it's just a morning practice that you just have to affirm, what you want and what's good for you. Yes. And so when you started with, I love you and I accept you, I'm like, it's so important for us to just embrace that, because there's so many, we have battles. Once we get out of our sanctuary, we have battles to, fight, and, sometimes it gets sloppy. Sometimes it gets real sloppy, and you ain't looking your best, but that's okay, and I can like laugh about it because it's funny. I mean, because when it's all over with, you go, okay, I may not have looked very graceful, but I did it. So, I'm always challenging myself. And so did you guys see the Winter Olympics this year?
Yes.
So I love ice skating, and I'm talking about, to me, we're talking about being prosperous, right? So like for me, I was like, I used to ice skate when I was young. I was like 8 and 9 years old, and I loved ice skating. And my sister like really helped. She crushed my ice skating dreams because she wouldn't take me to my ice skating lessons. And it was like way far. It was like, it was in Santa Monica. We lived like 15, 20 miles from there. And I couldn't catch the bus at 8 years old to go there. And so when I saw the Olympics, I was like, you really should try to do that again. I was like, you ain't got no time for that. You ain't got no time for no ice skating, because then that ice skating rink is way far away now, because they closed all the ice skating rinks here in LA.
Yes. Yes.
So I was like, girl, yes, you do have time for that, because I could not sleep. I would be up all night watching these ice, watching
Yes.
the pairs, the dancing, and the freestyle. So
Yes.
I got some skates and I started skating.
Yes. And
now,
we have that in common, Georgette. I skated when I first moved from Detroit to LA in Pasadena, the rink. I took lessons. Yeah. Oh, love that.
Wow.
I love it.
And
So,
I took lessons at Culver City Ice Rink as a kid.
Okay. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God. And they just closed that rink, and I thought I would be able to get over there and start skating again before they sold it. But so anyway, I started skating, you guys, and I went and bought these skates, and I was all gung ho. Yes. Got to the rink, and I was like, oh my God, my heart was like, oh, this is where I need to be. This is what I need to be doing, because I don't have enough balance in my life, ladies. I have worked myself to the bone.
To the bone.
And I said, I have to create some joy while I'm doing this, more joy, because I'm naturally, a happy person. I'm bubbly, and I have a lot of energy, as Nawili said. But it's been a little bit too sloppy, lately.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, it's gotten real sloppy, right? This battle's gotten sloppy. So I said, you can clean it up a little bit. Just have some joy. So I said, start ice skating. So I get there, I put those skates on, and as soon as I put one foot on the ice skating rink, I said, what the hell are you doing? You don't have no business out here. And I struggle so hard every Tuesday to go to this ice skating lesson. And I just thought it would be so easy. You saw how graceful everyone was out there in the ring, just skating and flowing. And I was like, oh, you can do this. You used to do it all the time. And every week, it's my personal challenge to myself to live more, to be more, to do more, because I don't want to become, I'm going to be 55 this year. I don't want to be 60 telling, starting that negative self-talk saying, you can't do that. You can't do that anymore. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh no. So now it's like my battle. And I have the best teacher. She's like a kindergarten teacher. Mm. Did you guys have a good kindergarten experience? Because I had a great kindergarten experience.
Yes.
And I was like, this woman just makes it so much easier for me to get up every day and try. So she holds my hand, and I'm actually pretty good. I'm the oldest person in the class, and I can probably do more than the people in the class. I would say technically, but I'm so afraid of falling. So I made myself fall. I allowed myself to fall. And that kind of took all that away. And so now, every Tuesday I look forward to going there and just challenging myself to do it. And I just feel so much better. I may not be the best at it. I may not be able to do those crossovers that she's trying to teach me how to do. Just skating forward. I just want to skate forward and feel free. She wants me to cross over, bend down, put my leg out. I said, I'm beginning. I'm just a beginner. Can we just slow it down a little bit? So, I guess, in saying all that I'm saying, it's just a challenge, and I'm a risk taker. I mean, I think I thrive on the challenge of taking risks and proving that it can be done. And the answer is yes.
Yes.
So I would like to hear about, if you guys have any questions for me. I'd like to just open it up, because I don't want to do all the talking. You can see I just go on and on and on and on and on about nothing. But I hope you guys receive some kind of message and all that I just said. But I'd like to hear more. If you guys have questions, I'd like to kind of open it up and just kind of have a dialogue.
Okay, so after every speaker, I'm going to hit the chime so we can actually go in and receive.
Well, Georgia,
I'm sorry, what'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Okay, I was wondering if you could hear me.
Oh, yes, I can hear you now.
I'm still dealing with learning how to deal with technology and do it right. I remember when I was very young, my mom set us all down and said, we have a challenge in our family. On both sides, many family members have diabetes. So I love you children. I want us not to have that experience or to try to do what is needed. So for a long time, I've always listened to any lecturers or anybody talking about diabetes. So far, I've been able to stay okay.
Good.
Be my 80th birthday without having been diagnosed. So one of the things I listened to early on was that many times diabetics would have not enough sweetness in our life.
Yes.
I just thought I would ask you if you are in touch with what gives you that sweetness.
Yes.
Just sheer joy and to bring more of that often as you can. But is there sweetness? Is there enough sweetness? Is what I was asked.
That's beautiful. That is really beautiful. I would say yes. I'm a dog mom and I'm a dog person. So that's where a lot of my my sweetness comes in my private time, because I spend a lot of time with with my dog. And I've always had dogs. And so yes, and I get pleasure out of giving. So I'm a giver. And yes, that's wonderful. Everyone needs that. Everyone needs that. This world will be a lot a better place if we gave ourselves that sweetness and then gave it out to give it to ourselves and then give it out to others. So yes, that's beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sister Razia,
Congratulations, you're beautiful.
in our yoga teacher training, we were taught exactly that same thing you just shared, is always have some sweetness in your life. And actually, when the yoga master came to town and we had big meetups, we afterwards, to remind us of that sweetness in our lives, they would, all his people who work with him would come around with these huge trays of fig Newtons. Well, I detest fig Newtons. And so when they come around with a tray, all I would be saying in my mind, remember, to have some sweetness in your life, but just put it up to your teeth. Do not chew that cookie. And so, because I didn't like it. So, but that just reminded me of those meetups. And yes, sweetness in your life and in everything you do, you say, and everything that you be, just really, really embrace it. And Georgette, you give so much. And I'm so glad to hear you express that you're doing your self-care and loving up on Georgette, because the amount that you have, shared with me and everybody else. I pray you just get back all of it the rest of your life. You deserve it.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, sis. Thank you.
And good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
In Louise Hay's book on You Can Heal Your Life, she talks about the lack of joy in your life, which is what you're talking about. And she talks about how we believe that we're giving ourselves love, but what we do is we sometimes give more of the love away than we keep for ourselves.
Yes.
Like many times you think the joy is when you give something to someone and you see a smile on their face. But the joy is when you put the smile on your face because you were able to give.
That's right.
So we have to remember to always give back to ourselves, because the first healing has to be done within us. And I know that I was told after a couple of years back that I was diabetic, and I was thinking, well, how did this occur? Because I don't know of any diabetes in our family. But what I did is I went to a class to find out about the foods that I could intake and which had the highest numbers of sugar that I should eat in moderation, carbs and that kind of thing. But what I initiated, which is I was laughing when you said ice skating, I walked every day and I started walking heels, which is walking is the easiest exercise that anyone can do because you can do it on a cane, a walker, you can just do it. And over a period of walking for about 6 months, once I started, when I went back, my numbers were where they were supposed to be. But what I found is that when I walked in the morning, I would enjoy just looking at the trees, being connected with nature, and just smiling and just being looking at the beauty of the world. Because sometimes we miss that when we're busy, like with you running a business. Because I ran a business for almost 30 years, so I understand the neglect that we give to ourselves when we're running the business. So it's important. One of the things that I did is I made sure that every morning the first person I fell in love with was myself. And I still have to practice that because some mornings the phone will ring or something's going on and you're not allowed to love yourself because you got to put it out there real quick. So I
Yeah.
realize that it's important. So what I do is when I lay in the bed, when I open my eyes, I do a meditation where I go through my entire body, where I send love to my entire body, each part
Oh
of it,
yeah.
and working through the chakra system and do some deep breathing. And when I get up, I'm ready to start my day because I've taken care of my body first. And then I can move into whatever else I want to connect with that. But if I don't connect anything, I've taken those few minutes to connect with me. So one of the things I learned in the morning is the very first person you should connect with is you. So I mentioned this to a friend and she said, I don't have time. So I told her, if you have your cell phone by the side of your bed, click your cell phone and say, uh, healing body meditation or meditation music, and it'll pop on for 10 to 15 minutes and don't move until that music cuts off. And that allows you to do your breathing and take care for yourself. So I'm real happy about the ice skating. I'm not brave enough to do that, but my cue is walking.
Yes. 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 Oh my God. That is, when I didn't really think of self-care. I mean, it didn't hit home as hard for me until COVID started because I was so busy putting out fires, taking care of others. And then all of a sudden, it just became it's like so loud now because I can't do anything. I can't do anything now without taking care of myself. I mean, I've pushed myself to a point where I have felt depleted. And so now it brings me just immense joy now to just continue to pour back into myself. And I have found that I have gotten like so much more energy and so much more power just in doing just the simple things that you're talking about in the morning, just meditating. Like I sleep with I have something playing in the background on TV. It's a spiritual, they read scriptures like all night on YouTube, and I just sleep with that on. And it's so important. I mean, I can't imagine living any other way now without it because of the demands, and there's no way that those demands can be managed without self-care anymore. I mean, it's like kind of like, how people say that this whole pandemic, like there's a new way of life. Well, this new way of life for me has just really been self-care for me, and that helps me to even do the things that I like to do even more, and it gives me greater capacity to be able to give, but without giving to myself and without pouring in and really taking care of myself. It's made all the difference, and my numbers have gone down. So like, I don't know if you guys know about these numbers, but I have to brag because I'm just so happy that this has happened in such a short time frame. And in December, when the nurse practitioner put me on and insisted that I try the insulin because I was crying and kicking and screaming, and I was like, I don't want to be a slave to insulin. I don't want to do that. I told myself, well, okay, just try this. I was at a 10. My A1C was at a 10, which is high. And in March, this past March, my A1C was down to 7.8. So I got it down very, very in a short period of time. I got it down, and I'm going even lower. So, she doesn't have the last say on it. I do. And I'm grateful that, that through just, I knew about, self-care and practicing, but I just didn't realize that how much I kind of became imbalanced in my practice. And so it's just important to just bring yourself back, like you say, every morning to, you got to deal with you, before you deal with anything else. So, I mean, that's so powerful.
Georgette, what is the number that we should be at in diabetes? I mean, not consider ourselves.
They say that seven is the number.
You know what? Can you explain? Because I've not dealt with that. My aunt did, but tell me what brings you about what happens to make you diabetic, and where should we be? Like,
well, it's just that the body does not process. Your body's not producing enough insulin and can't get into the cells. And so what I found out, and this really is not explained when you go to the doctor, the Western doctor, is that also when your blood sugars kind of get out of whack, your pancreas and your kidneys are not your organs are not communicating properly. So how it's been explained to me, which they don't explain to the doctor, is that, they tell you to eat every 4 hours when you should probably be eating every 2 hours. And that you have to, if you're dehydrated, if you don't drink enough, you don't consume enough water, it will drive your blood sugar up. Especially if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic. I mean, that's just a practice that we should. Water is good for everything, right? Water is good for our body. So that's just, if you're dehydrated, it will keep your numbers just going straight up. And so that's kind of like, my battle right now. I'm told to eat every hour and a half. So that can get a little tricky. But those are the things. So the water and the food consumption, and the water and the food consumption is really critical. And I was surprised to find that if I stick to the hour and a half to 2 hours, my blood sugar is maintained, and it's at a normal level. And so I don't know, did that answer your question?
Yeah, somewhat, because Pam, wasn't it Aunt Edie that had the diabetes, was diabetic? But I remember her, you start getting faint or something like that. And
the symptoms.
She'd have to get some, it seemed like she would have to get some sugar, some candy or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of times you can, if you don't eat, your blood sugar will just drop suddenly.
Okay.
And then you have to, eat a piece of candy, or they tell you to drink some orange juice. But if you go too long, that's like if you wake up and you don't eat breakfast and then you don't have, you don't eat lunch until like 12 or 1. People say that a lot of people are doing intermittent fasting, and that it really hasn't worked for me, but it has. I know people where it has worked and they're diabetic, but I don't think that that's the healthiest practice if you're diabetic. It might be once your numbers normalize, but when your sugar drops and you need to, you feel, you might start sweating, you get a little palmy, and you need to eat something to kind of like bring some homeostasis back to your body, so. There are a few symptoms, like people get thirsty, they get faint, they get dizzy. I think we've all kind of experienced that without being diabetic, but that's one of the symptoms. I mean, you can your blood sugar still drops. So
Yeah.
if you go all day, you don't eat, you start feeling faint, and I'm sure that's what's happening. If you check your blood sugar, that's probably one of the most likely things that are happening.
Mm. Yeah, thanks.
No problem.
Sister Lily or Ayana, are you on the call? Would you like to chime in and say good morning or?
Grand Rising, ladies.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising.
Okay.
I heard what you were all talking about and everything, and I don't know much about diabetes, so I was here learning also. And yes, it doesn't run very far in my family, but I'm always
That's good.
happy to learn more to prevent situations and keep it down in my family and in my life also. So I've changed my water intake. When I was younger, they said I was close to getting diabetes. That if I didn't lose weight, I would, probably have diabetes in the future and things. That's what the doctors told me. I was in, I think, middle school, and so since then I've changed my water intake from. I used to drink a lot of juice, no soda, just a lot of juice. And a lot of, sweet lemonades and stuff like that. I didn't drink enough water at the time. But as I changed my intake from juice and sometimes soda and things that were high in sugar and not as natural juices either, it made me feel better, made my skin clear up a bit more. And it made me feel better in the inside. Your body tells you what you need. So once I was drinking the water and my body was screaming hallelujah, that was a sign. So I'm just appreciative of you all.
Thank you, Ayana. Yeah, they say to drink half of your body weight in ounces in water. So whatever you weigh, if you drink at least half of your body weight in ounces, then they say you're good.
Yes, I had to change my ways. I was drinking water, but not enough at all. And I was playing sports and doing athletics and working and things like that. My body was just crying for help, and I didn't know what was going on. And again, I lived in a different state at that time where it was not popular to, try to be healthy. It was like, oh, we have the money to drink all the sodas we can and things, not try to care about our lives and things in the future and stuff. So I'm just grateful that I had that little bit of awareness. Like, I don't want to get diabetes. As a kid, you're like, you don't know much about it. You just know you have to take insulin and things like that for it and go through struggles and stuff, but you don't know much about it or how it will change your life and your body and things. So I'm just grateful that I had that opportunity to make that change, that swift change. Even if it's just minute. I don't like to take in a lot of candy, sugar, like that. I don't know. Maybe I had my fill when I was younger. It just doesn't taste the best to me anymore. Sometimes here and there, everybody has their little sugar, their sweet candy or something. But yes, I definitely made myself aware of my body.
That's shame. Thank you, Ayana.
Thank you.
And I believe in all these ways that we're sharing our stories, especially as we're sharing about our health. And when we come into alignment with a different awareness of how to shift and change, that just reminds me of women who are committed to prospering, to flourishing, to thriving. You have to shift. You have to be really willing to change on the drop of whatever the expression is, or as time, dictates to you. Um,
What?
and I always, I know I've shared with you all about my back surgery. I just, without a doubt, know that that was one of the most amazing opportunities in my life to pivot, to change, to become even more and more aware of how prosperous I really am and how strong my body actually is. That I had probably gone away from the notion that everything was already perfect, was already whole, that was already complete. My ego had me teaching 13 to 15 classes a week between yoga and line dance. And my ego said, keep going, even in the painful moments, until the breakthrough came and said, all right, pause and behold and surrender. And I am a prospering woman out of that experience, because when that um, was brought into my attention, that wasn't the only thing that was out of whack, or I love Georgette saying sloppy in my life, because it doesn't just happen in one area. It's not, it's all connected. It's all one. So if my health was off, my wealth was off, my relationships were off, that it was all sloppy. And I believe when we start knowing that it's all one and you work across the board on all of it, bits and pieces. I'm so happy you've embraced the ice skating. Movement is, I mean, I'm a movement girl. Georgie's a movement girl. We always got to be moving. And that's the other piece of the puzzle. It's like, I used to tell my seniors when I taught chair yoga, sit when you're at home, on the commercials, move your arms up and down. Say thank you, move your arms out, clap your hands on the commercials, because I knew that the commercials are longer than the actual program. So look at how many minutes of exercise in just simply sitting in your chair and not even thinking about it. So yeah, so important to just, I believe, start looking at how we're prospering in all across the board in our lives.
Good morning.
Mhm.
Everything begins in mind, everything. And one of the things I've learned is that we have to deprogram ourselves from what the world says, and we have to work towards going within. And one of the things that I've done in the past is whenever something comes up in the area of my physical body, I go within and say, so what do I need to do or change? Because I realize in this world, and being a business owner, or some of us have worked on jobs, or like Nawili said, she kept on going. And it feels good because you're being of service to others. But once again, the first service should be to yourself. So your body will tell you when you need a break. Your body will tell you when you need a vacation. Your body will tell you when you need to sit in the yard and just breathe some air or read a book. And these are a lot of the pleasures that we deny ourselves now, because there's so much activity going on in the planet, and everybody is trying to accumulate wealth in money. But as Nawili said, prosperity starts in every area of your life. So I always go back to meditation, because one of the things that I've learned is when I'm still, the idea of everything that I need to do for myself becomes very clear. It doesn't come so easily when I'm being real active, or I'm overworking, or I'm taking care of somebody else. It comes when you take just a few minutes. Like at work they used to say, take a 15-minute break. And on our 15-minute break, we would all be talking and doing stuff. But that break meant take that break, be still, and allow yourself to break away from everything that you normally are doing, and allow yourself to be still. So for myself, I've learned that no matter what time it is, sometimes I will just sit for a moment, just for a few minutes, I will just sit and say, I'm loving myself and I'm taking this time for me. Our bodies are made to heal themselves. And I learned that because of the illness that I went through. And 90% of the healing, 100% of the healing was, I'm not going to say that, 90% was me understanding that I had to listen to my body no matter what the doctor said. Because the idea of me being well was for me to believe he could do his work, but I had to believe it. That comes with diabetes, if you have problems with your legs, anything. Because the first person who has to know that you're well is you. So I found for myself when I take those few minutes and I break whatever's going on, in that moment, I will know, you know what, Ruth, this is the time for you to do this, or just do absolutely nothing, because activity is not always the answer. But I do know that the healing power of meditation, even if it's for a minute, I don't care where you are, it will create a shift so that these diseases that they talk about don't have a place in your life because you're clear about what you want to do, whether it's working with taking care of a relative, teaching, running a business, or whatever. You will learn because your body will tell you, take a break, or it will, by law of attraction, bring you people so that you have the assistance so you can take the break. But one of the things that you have to remember, scripture says, of myself I can do nothing, but the spirit that dwells within doeth the work. So when we're quiet, all of the answers begin to show up. Sometimes we ignore them, but they show up. And the greatest lesson for me has been to be still and not always think that the activity of healing and how to do it has to come from me. So I just wanted to say that.
Well, I'd like to just thank Ayana, is it? The
Yes,
sister
ma'am.
who's just on. You said something which really, really touched me. You said you were living in a city that was not interested
In
in
health.
health, or how did you say that?
They weren't interested in being healthy or
Okay.
even thinking about, being healthy. It was basically a challenge on how unhealthy kind of they could be. It was
Yeah.
surprising to me. They
I
would.
don't know if you can tell us what city, but
I
I
used to live
just, that really, really touched me, because that is the experience that we're having in many cities.
right.
And our people have gotten the reputation of being quite unhealthy. Detroit, for example, has a very high rate of diabetes and other pre-existing conditions, hypertension, all of these. And I wonder, because I'm saying, is it connected with the love of soul food, or have we gotten off in our definition of soul food? Soul food maybe could be redefined. Now,
Absolutely.
I learned, I guess it was about 15 years ago, I was so concerned about when I traveled, I would have swelling in my ankles. And other people on the trip, especially some of the women, swelling in the feet and ankles just from the sitting. We said, well, we should stop every 2 hours or so and do some walking and that. And then somebody finally had the nerves to say, let's look at what we're eating.
Yes, ma'am.
And we were loading down with chips and dips and sweet drinks and all of that, and not enough water, because we had looked forward to this trip. This is my favorite cookie. This is my favorite this and that. We went through that, but I want to share with you and the rest of the women on the call is that I discovered live enzyme raw food being a very helpful
The real
challenge
soul.
to do. And I was studying with a doctor out of Arizona. So it's on the West Coast there, Dr. Gabriel Cousins. And he had gotten this program together where you would do 30 days raw and you would not have diabetes anymore. And it was just amazing. I didn't believe it at first, but what it is that when we eat live enzyme foods, foods are live up to temperature of 110, there is a magical difference that happens in the body. So that cooked foods, on the other hand, cause the body to do extra work because we have live enzymes in our bodies naturally. But if we overwhelm those enzymes with a full plate of cooked food, the body doesn't have the help it needs. The suggestion right now from nutritionists and people in the food industry is that we really look at including more raw foods. Many of us have had raw, we had salads, our mothers gave us sliced apples. And, we had a lot of raw food naturally, but many of us didn't have it enough. Some days we ate a full plate of cooked food and that was it. And so the body struggled. So at this point, people who are really struggling with diabetes are looking at 50-50 live food, cooked food, up to 80% raw food, 20% cooked. And if they can just do that and just look at all the wonderful things, I started looking and said, oh my God, how am I going to do this? And I said, oh, I like cabbage slaw. Oh, I like a tossed salad with little pieces of broccoli and little pieces of cauliflower and carrots. And then I throw in a few cranberries or something just to make it, have that little sweetness. We recognize that there's a big difference between the sweet that you get from an apple or peach or the different fruits that we have, grapes even, compared to the sweet you get from a cookie or a slice of pie. And just making those changes, making those commitments to ourselves in terms of what we give to this body temple. The 30, I was sitting here and thinking as you were talking, Georgette, and I just had a call 2 days ago from a woman who said, oh, Razia, I'm glad you're answering. Are you still cooking? Are you still helping people with food preparation? And I said, well, that's kind of semi-retired, but I'm still out here. She's asked me if I would put her on 100% raw regimen for at least a couple of weeks. She said she pushed against it, but she's ready now. And she had heard of the 30-day raw thing. And I said, girl, what happened? She said she's now fully diabetic. She says that she had an auto accident or something, and they put her on prednisone. And prednisone, within 3 or 4 days, she was diabetic.
Wow.
She was, and so prednisone is an extremely dangerous drug, sisters.
Yes.
And as much as possible, try to steer clear of it. And the average doctor, once you say, oh, I'm not a diabetic. No. He'll say, well, and I don't want that medication. Take me off of it. I'm not taking it. And the doctor will say, well, you cannot just stop this. You have to go through a gradual release because it's very dangerous for you to just stop taking. Now, I don't know how true that is and what, some of the rest of you know, but it scares people. And many people will stay on that prednisone and get bigger and bigger. I've worked with women who gained like 40 pounds to 60 pounds in 6 months.
Yes.
And it's scary. So we know that the raw food, as much as you can, start adding on, and every day ingest that. I experimented just last week with myself. I got this bread and I just love this favorite bread. I used to eat it a lot. And I said, well, I'm going to eat. I just want this bread. And the next day I had a puffy ankle.
Mm.
And I didn't think it would be that, I just said, I've been good. I've been trying, but we have to really accept that we've been led on the wrong path, I think.
Yes.
When you said that, it just struck a chord with me, Ayana, to say that you recognize that you were in a city that was not about being healthy.
At
And I
all.
want to share with you, we're in a society that's depending on a large segment of us to be unhealthy because it's a part of a very serious economy. And those doctors see dollar signs as they count the number of diabetics that they're going to have coming in that week.
Profit.
So it's time to wake up
Very
about
much so.
health. Yeah. Thank you so much for
Ashe,
making that statement.
Thank you.
Good morning, all.
Mama,
Iowa. Good morning. I
morning.
came in.
Happy
I
day.
came in a little late, but I just want to jump on with what Ruth and Ayana was saying. And in my metaphysical field, we check the realm of emotion, and like somebody else was speaking from Louise Hayes about emotion. Diabetes as a way of storing pain.
Yeah.
I was just reading, going over something that said that there are strong feeling that has triggers in diabetes besides illness and disease. It stems from childhood and beyond. This begins a feeling of emptiness, resulting in the feeling of what might have been and what should have been.
Mama, can you turn your camera on?
Oh,
Ladies, when you speak, sisters, if you can give us some face, that would be wonderful. I understand if you
how
can't.
about that? Now,
Thank you.
I ain't dressed for today. I don't have my crown on, but hey, I'm among women.
Yeah.
But no, in our society and in our culture, we don't play. We become adults early. It is a thing with lack of play.
That's right.
In our childhood.
Yeah.
And then it leads to when we become adults, the seriousness. No play, no time for play. Now,
That's
I think
right.
Ruth was saying taking a break.
Yeah.
And it's like in our culture, we, as young age, think about how to survive, how to make it, the next step, money,
Yeah.
and there's no play there. It's
Yeah.
a lack of play. In my field as a body work and energy therapist, even more so is the lack of touch.
Right.
Hug. You search for happy, you search for sweetness, but it's things like a simple hug, a greeting, a pat on the back,
Smile.
a smile. There you go. Now these all lacking of all these things create a chemical imbalance in the body.
That's right. That's right.
Which cause these diseases. They say mind, body, and spirit. No, I don't teach my practice like that. It's the spirit that wills the mind to heal the body. It is a domino effect. It's a chain effect. And so it's like you look at this child is happy and this child is playing and this child has a carefree moment. When do we stop? Who said stop? Yes, we change our ways, but we still have that inner child that is starving for attention, and it goes through this emptiness. And then next, what is lack of emptiness? It becomes bitter.
Exactly.
Lack of sweetness, the little sweet things in life, like I think somebody was talking about a walk in nature. we have no time where it's that thing about money and time that controls us. And we have to get a control of that. To take a walk, I make my clients do little, they always have to do homework work. That's the way I was taught. To go in nature and you sit there and you be real quiet. Next thing you know, you start smiling at a butterfly that passed your face, or the sounds of a different bird. We are people of nature. We have the DNA of nature, but we try to walk and talk and live in this Western society that you look at others and they can be so much poorer than you, but they so much happier. They got going canoeing and boating, and we don't have time for that. It's like we're always working, got to do this, got to do this. So it's like, when do you check out to become that child?
Again.
But that's all I wanted to say was, especially this pandemic, it's like everybody is running and jumping from a hug. Everybody is backing off with their 6 feet distance. And it's like, this is something we crave. We crave sweetness. And so besides adding the refined sugars, how do we allow this sweetness, all this, the physical, the mental, the spiritual, but also we have to look at that emotional. Every component of what we talk about has emotional effect.
Juanita?
Good morning, my
Now
sisters.
I got to get my bell. I hear you. You chime in and you like ancestors, we hear you.
Go
Good
ahead.
morning. Good morning, my sisters. Thank you all for all that you're pouring out into us. Y'all are such a blessing. I just want to say to Mama Hawa, now, girl, your crown grows up out of your head. You don't have to go get no piece of cloth to wear your crown. Okay. Okay. So I want to say that. I want to say how I really appreciate what you bring to us, Mama Hawa, about the energy focus. I know that when I was living in Georgia for probably about 17 to 2020. So that was a good whole 3 years. So I didn't get to be around my I Am family. So that's my membership is with the Temple of I Am. So the I Am family is like, when you walk in the building, you feel the energy, the love, the hugs, all that. And so I was missing that. And so it was while I was down in Georgia that that breast cancer tried to start, resurging. And but coming back up here is such a difference. And that's like the first part of my healing. And so I'm just so grateful for that. Thank you for the information you all are bringing about diabetes. I just want to share a word of encouragement on that. My mommy will be 96 in July, and she has had diabetes for about 50 years. She eats whatever sweet she wants. She buys ice cream. Now she regulates. So she regulates in a way that, if she knows she's going to treat herself to a certain sweet thing at some point in the day, she'll do a little less of something else to make sure she leaves room for that. So, to be age 96 and then to see, I just can't understand why we hear people saying somebody died from diabetes. You don't have to die from diabetes. And to look at my mom, who's had it over 50 years, it's like, you don't have to die from diabetes. You might wind up dying from, neglecting what it takes to keep diabetes from taking over you, I'm trying to say. So thank you all for all the information. We just want to share that word of encouragement that y'all,
Juanita,
we can do it.
Yeah, Juanita.
I am.
You talk about you said your grandmother?
My mom.
Or your mother? My grandmother died at 98. And she was like a grandfather clock. You put her dinner in
So,
front of her, she would not eat. Her head will still be down. The minute you put that sweet potato pie right there, she wake up and eat that pie along with her food. And so you have to look at the components of diabetes, and it's more than just focusing on one thing. Now she again made it all her life too, with her sweets, and and here I come with my healthy self, and she would say, "Oh, just wash it down with something warm. It'll leave your body."
that is awesome. What an awesome example. I want to share one more thing about my mom. Now, y'all can't tell this. Honey, my mama gonna have her gin and juice every day. Okay, every day. It stressed me out for a minute when probably about 10 years ago. Okay, here's my grocery list. And the gin and juice would be on there maybe once a week. Then the gin and juice started showing up twice a week. I'm like, oh, hold up. So my kids now they say we about to go spend some time with my mom in Georgia because she had to move down there with my sister for the first time in her life. She has to live with somebody, and she is so cool with it. Like, y'all just go ahead, cook and clean. I'll sit here, sip my gin and juice, and watch the football game. And that's what time it is. Y'all just need to get with it. But my kids, when they used to go shopping for her, you know, they noticed this regularity because I was in Georgia. But we're looking forward to going to visit with her in July, and my kids are so hyped. And they're like, okay, we about to be lit. We about to, because my mama can out party anybody, honey. You think 2:00? I'm saying, Mama, you ready to go? You ready to go for what? 5:00, she's still partying out the door. I'm wore out. Anyway, this was just within the last couple of years. Anyway, my kids are like, we ain't worried about grandma drinking. She gonna out drink us because you know her blood is 90 proof. Her blood is 90 proof. Let me tell you, she handles all her business. And she ain't forgetting nothing. She might take a little longer to get back at it, but honey, she ain't forgetting nothing. So anyway, I know I took up a lot of time. Thank you for allowing me to share that.
It reminds me. It reminds me of that song. Who was that? Sipping on gin and juice.
Yes, yes, my mama all day. not all day, just not all day, because she's not that bad. But I'm just saying, just say every day.
I traveled to Brazil and some of the Caribbean islands, and what struck me, it really hit me in Brazil, because after you be away from this American way of life for a certain length of time, you start looking for things that you know that are here. And there was one fast food place in Bahia, Brazil. One. There were no potato chips, popcorn, and all that snack food that we have over here. Now, granted, in the Caribbean, they do a lot of sugar cane, and in Jamaica, in particularly, I noticed, people with the evidence of what sugar can do. But for the most part, the culture of the islands in South America is no way related to the culture here in terms of the way they eat. So I was very surprised to see that there were no fast food places, and there were no potato chips and popcorn and all those little snacky things that they promote here for us to kill ourselves with. The other thing that I want to share is the sister was talking about the city and the culture of the city where she was and how the people wanted to consume certain things. And that seems to be around the world. Mm-hmm. So like when I come to a city, the first thing I look for is a Caribbean restaurant.
Yes.
If I'm going to indulge myself in that type of food. And they have loads of vegetables in their food. People eat a lot of meat. However, when you go to a Chinese restaurant and those other Asian places, they eat meat, but they have more vegetables on their plate than meat. If they make a soup, it's more vegetables than a meat consumption. So I just wanted to share that. And I had a couple other things, but they slipped my mind. I better go drink some tea.
I think culturally, sometimes we get caught up in what goes on in the neighborhood and advertisements. But I remember growing up, we ate everything, but we didn't, as she said, we didn't have a lot of junk food, but we ate all types of meat, soul food. But a lot of the things that we had were grown in the backyard too.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
came straight out of the backyard, so we weren't getting anything overly processed. So I think that sometimes, can't live by what the people around you are doing. You just have to make way better choices for yourself and
Yes, ma'am.
start maybe having a small garden where you can grow some of the things that
That's
you
right.
like so that you can see them growing and anticipate eating them. And just generally don't get caught up in what society says, but allowing your spirit to tell you what is good
There
for
you
your
go.
body.
That's
Because
right.
I assure you that if you were on an island and all they had was chicken, you'd figure out a way to eat that chicken.
Yes.
And think about diabetes. So what are you thinking about when you're thinking about what you're thinking about? When you're eating the food, what do you think if I eat this candy bar, I'm going to be a diabetic? Or are you thinking, I'm going to eat this candy bar, enjoy it, and then I'm going to eat the rest of the day the way I should eat?
There you go.
We have the
That's it.
control
Start with the mind.
process to choose what we want to do. And we sometimes don't because, as she said in this city, they ate junk food, so she ate what they ate. But at some point, we have the right to make different choices.
Choices. Yes.
Elizabeth, if I could, I'm gonna mute everybody because there's background in some of the houses. And then just, unmute yourself when you want to just say amen and that kind of stuff. Yeah, we got Pam's hand is up.
Pam Pam.
Pam, you have to unmute yourself there.
Okay. I just wanted to say that I had a bout with cancer, and it was stage 3, and the tumor was about 6.5 inches large. Now, I have to admit that I got excited when I found the lump because I didn't want to be here no way. I was in depression, and God said, you might as well let that go because you still got things to do, so you can't leave here. And so I just wanted to share that in doing what we need to do for our health, know that no matter what comes along, if God says no, I don't care what it is, it does not have the power to take you out of here. So I just wanted to share that, share that. That's it. I'm done.
Nawili?
Thank you, Pam. Appreciate that. Lily, if you're available, would you like to chime in? I'm trying to get equal time to my team members.
Lily B.
Lily B, are you
Yes,
there?
ma'am. Hey. Good morning, beautiful people.
Oh, groovy day. How are you?
I'm well. I can't complain at all. If I would, what would I get anyway?
Come on.
I've been listening. I'm just sitting and listening in on all the beautiful stories on healing and understanding one's body and what you need and not letting them tell you what to do for you. Miss Georgia, I heard you loud and clear when you told that nurse, excuse me, ma'am. Yes, that was good. I love that. I love that. I'm big on that. My doctor already knows me. I'm trying to figure out what I want to say. So I can chime in on being a prosperous woman. Okay. Excuse me, ladies. I definitely view myself in that way. I am constantly overcoming adversities, things that have been flowing my way, and I'm thankful for it. A lot of times, it's a struggle. You know, some people don't know the benefits of just waking up, you know, and being happy with waking up and being content with being able to get out of the bed and move. So a lot of times I go through the phases of wanting to stick to my bed, even though I know my body told me when it woke up by itself at 6 o'clock in the morning, it was time to get up. Sometimes I want to stick to my bed, but getting up today, I'm proud of that, and prospering through the adversities that come my way. I'm definitely thankful for that, because they've been flowing and they flow heavy. And I've just learned that this is life. Life will continue on with or without you. Things happen. Either you're going to dust yourself off and keep going, or you're going to sit and wallow in the bed. And I've learned to get my tail up. So I'm excited about that on today, getting up. Let's celebrate just getting up.
Hey.
Amen.
Yeah.
Now, Wheelie, there's Mama Heatheroo has something in chat. If you want to come on and share that.
Okay.
I'm coming, Granny.
I'm here.
Oh, am I still on mute?
We hear
Hello,
you.
hello. It's Mama Hat. Good morning, Grand Rising.
Every day.
Okay. All right. So yes, what I was speaking about is one day I sat and thought about all the spandex in our bras and our panties, our pants and our tops. That's plastic. I know that is affecting us health-wise as women. And the plastic that I can see and tell in the food, you know, the margarines and things like that. So it just made me think, is that why we're seeing an increase in, plus all the other things that are going on in the ethers and the elements? The 5G power is not healthy for us. It's penetrable. Just thinking about those things and why we see so much. Another thing was, I remember my mother got diagnosed with breast cancer. Her doctor told her to stop wearing the underwire bras. And I think I came with her to that with that information after she told me, after she had been diagnosed. And I said, Ma, how come you didn't tell me? She said, I thought you knew. We can't think somebody knew something. We got to tell. My sister also shared that when she was wearing, she kept having chronic yeast infections. And her doctor asked her, what kind of sanitary napkins are you using? And she said, always. And the doctor said, let them go. That plastic in that sanitary napkin is making you bleed more and also causing you to stay moist with that plastic protection. And that's why you keep that wetness. And so that was causing her chronic yeast infections. Once she let that go, she was fine. So I've been able to share that with other women who have told me that their daughters may be experiencing the same. But we have to talk. We'll talk about the BS all day. Who got on what and all that, but information we don't share. You know what I mean? We gotta do better. And that's why we're Elizabeth right now.
Ashe. I think I love what you're saying, because if any of you sisters know a holistic or a naturopathic doctor to talk about that is the for our female organs, and can come and share like what you're saying about always and stuff like that. It's so prevalent on the TV that we go and we pick it up. We don't even read it. And most don't even know what to read and what is not good for us anyway in that area in particular. And so that's some good news. I'd love to have someone to come and share with us what types of things we need to use, and the progression of what do you start the baby. I think I think it was at Peace that was saying that her daughter just started her period, and you know, the celebration and the celebration that they did around it. And but what are you teaching next? What should she use, or those things that you can do naturally and not just submit our lives to the TV and the advertisements that are out there.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And that area is so private to us. We don't want people to know that we have any issues around, our vagina and yeah. So if you know any of you sisters, any of you Elizabeths know someone that can come and speak to us of yeah, I would love to hear about it, so we
Right.
can connect
That's
with
great.
them.
And
That's great.
also
So,
at some point I was using a cup, and then I thought to myself, I'm like, that's plastic. And then I read about the natural sea sponge. I loved using that when I was cycling, way back when. But I enjoyed the sponge very much. It's natural. You don't have to, it wasn't so much maintenance. I wasn't concerned about the plastic and how it affect my body. So that was something else I used. But yeah, let's research and get somebody. We'll have to definitely do that. Definitely do that. Thank you. Peace.
so I see that some things are coming across the chat, Sheila, about resources. Are you seeing that?
Okay, yes, I got it.
I mean, not Sheila. Oops, I'm sorry.
I'm still her.
Okay.
I appreciate that though. I really appreciate.
Yeah. Georgie, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. So do you have any other things you want to share since you brought up some beautiful things? I think we all needed this, and especially I'm so glad we can support you because you give so much. And yeah, you give so much. So there are no accidents. We know everything is in divine order. That I reached out to you. I have a leg in Detroit, but I have the other leg and both my arms still in Los Angeles. Y'all know, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
So I'm finding my way. So yeah, if you want to share anything else,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I know that you asked me to come on and speak about the prospering women, but
This
we're
is
all
progress.
we're all prospering right here. I mean,
Yes,
everyone's
we are.
prospering because
Yeah.
I find myself at this point in my life, it's like I'm more of a sponge. Like, I said what I had to say, but I've been very quiet because everything that everyone has shared has been so powerful. And um, I guess I'm at this stage where like I'm quiet.
Yeah.
When the sister was talking about being still, it's like I'm very still. Like I don't have as much to say anymore as I used to. I've kind of shut that down, and I really just observe and take it all in. And I mean, I think that listening is like one of the greatest qualities you can have, because it's you have to be able to listen to you have to have your listening ear, your heart has to listen, your body has to listen. And so I'm just listening. I'm at this listening phase in my life. So thank you guys for bringing in everything you brought to me, because I mean, I know you wanted to have me as a guest speaker, but I really feel like I feel so richly blessed and enriched just listening to what everyone had to share. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I didn't really need to say anything because we're prospering.
Yes, we are. We are.
We are
Absolutely.
prospering. I mean, everything everyone had to say is right on key. I mean, listening, taking time, self-care, pivoting, looking at the choices we're making, not wearing those always sanitary napkins, buying the organic cotton ones, starting there. I mean, just simple things, that little adjustments and that we can make that can really change the trajectory of our lives, and just eating more fiber, eating more raw. I mean, just everything you guys had to say and to share. It's just, we need this. So I'm probably going to be chiming in more often.
Yay, yay. All right, Elizabeth, Georgie. Reverend Ruth, would you like to chime in? Reverend Ruth?
Ma'am.
You have to unmute yourself. I don't, is she, yeah, she's still here.
Okay,
Reverend
can you
Ruth?
hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I was saying this was a great morning because the prosperity was in the conversation
Yes.
that we had.
Yes.
You know, and understanding that we all have the intuitive knowledge that we can say things that will shift and change each other's lives. Talking about the sanitary napkins, something new. Talking about the raw eating, remembering. You know, doing the exercises. Georgie said, getting out ice skating. Just, you know, learning small things that if we can think about, put it into our daily lives if we haven't been doing it. I think that was the greatest gift that I got this morning. And just being in the presence of you ladies is a gift in itself. That's prosperous because each one of you brings so much to the table. So I appreciate just being with you this morning. And Georgie, I'm right down the street from you because I live on Jefferson. So I come to the fish market. So thank you ladies for having me this morning. I have started getting up early enough to catch up with you. I won't be on next week, but I will be back the following week. And I think this is a great opportunity for anyone to be a part of. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Come say hi to me sometime.
Oh, I come down there. I will. I also wanted to say this. If any of you haven't read it, it's not a Bible, but it could be sometime. Get a copy of Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, because in that book, she talks about the healing through your emotional body. She talks about the law of attraction, and thoughts are things. Very important what you think about yourself and what you think about your day and what you want to attract, if it's money or whatever it is. So it's important that you understand what your blocks are and the things that are holding you back, because a lot of times we think we're doing everything and there's one little thing that we could do, which is be still, but there may be other things that we're doing that we're not even aware of. So it's a great book. I read it over 25 years ago and I recommend it to a lot of ladies. So if you get the opportunity, you may want to purchase that book.
Yes. Ashe.
Also, I want to invite you. When I come back, I'm doing a workshop in June. So I don't know how we'll do it, but I'll talk with Nawili and maybe you can join me on Zoom. It's called The Spiritual Nature of Hustle and Flow, and it's about how when you think the Spirit of God isn't assisting you, the assistance is always there. So I'll be in touch with you about that. And I'm going to talk to Nawili so we can do it on Zoom. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Hey.
Mama Awa is her hand is up. Now
Okay.
Yes. I'm the herb lady now. I'm the good herb lady. I'm the legal herb lady.
Good herb lady.
And just a few helpful herbs from Mother Nature that is there to assist us is cinnamon, fenugreek, milk thistle. All this is for pre-diabetes and diabetes and more. That they have the compounds in them that decrease blood sugar and stimulate the pancreas. And cumin, that's part of the spice from turmeric that Mama Yaba talks about a lot. Holy basil, aloe vera. That's just to name a few. Devil's club that stabilize the blood. I'm just saying, as part of your raw diet, to include these herbs as well. You can put them in your tea. For those who are not tea drinkers, you can sprinkle them in your salads, cook with them in your foods. I make tinctures and infusions and sample and play around with them all the time. Hey, put them in a satchel, put them in a pouch, and put them in your bra, put them on your body.
Yeah. Or in your bag.
That's right. You can get a strainer so you won't clog your tub. Put the strainer in and then your stopper and put it in your tub and soak in these herbs. So the herbs. So hey, the herb woman I got your herb for you. What you need?
Hustle, girl, and flow. Hustle, girl.
But I do. And I used to get that joke from my I have teenage, well, they're grown now, but at the time my teenage sons caught themselves in the world dabbling with other type of herbs. They would have their friends over and I have big piles of dried sage or just big piles of stuff on the counter. And they will whisper to each other, your mother sells drugs? I sell the natural drugs. Yes, I sell the natural herbs. You open my pantry, I done move out all the pots because I really don't cook like that. And it's nothing but you name it. Whatever you need for your headache, white willow, got it. You know, for this, got it. So I'm just saying, you know, you may not think that they're working, but these are God's plants. These come from the creator, the netters, and they're here as part of our tool and supply. And hey, next week, Wednesday, I'll talk more about it.
Yeah, Mama, if you could type those herbs in the chat.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Mama Ayaba?
Yeah, I just want to add to it that the earlier on we were talking about being givers, that one of the things that people who give are not good at is receiving. We like to tell a person, oh no, that's okay. Oh well, I really appreciate it, but that's all right. You don't have to do that. You know, we need to move away from that because part of giving is giving in that way. Part of receiving is giving. The way you receive is giving.
That's right.
My aunt used to always, every now and then, she said, God told me to give you this. And I said, well, Aunt Brenda, that's so wonderful of you and everything, but you don't have, and before I could get have to out of my mouth, she said, don't curse my blessings. I said, what you mean? She said, if you don't receive what I give you, then there's no room being made for me to receive what somebody else has for me. You got to make room for my gift so that in turn makes room for me to receive from someone else. And it goes on and on down the line. So I'm just saying that because I hear many givers on this and in this organization and among us. And I'm just saying, you know, let us begin to train ourselves to be great receivers too. That's about it.
I just want to say
hit
this.
that again. You need to hit that again.
That's right. Hit the bell again. But in our ancestor African culture, the shaman, the medicine man, the healer of the village, they don't hang a shingle out for and give me money. Money is given as a gratitude, but part of their power to continue, because it could be something to take you out, is to share the knowledge, is to give, and it is a gift to receive. You're gonna turn down a gift? Receive your gifts. Like the sister, was that Georgetta? She was saying, I'm here to listen. That's a very good antidote right there. Because how can you receive if you don't listen? To listen is to hear. To hear is to understand I'm messing it up. To listen is to hear. To hear is to receive. And then when you receive it, you know, then you know. Then you know.
I'm glad you brought that up because I had a class once of children who could not hear, nor could they speak. And I was teaching them music. And I was telling someone last night that this day, I don't even understand what happened. Those children played, they were on the right rhythm. They were so happy. They all came up and hugged me when it was over. I received it. But to this day, I say, how do they do this? So there's another way of hearing that I'm not privy to. Just want to share that.
Vibration.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Juanita, are you talking?
No more. Thank you.
Oh,
I just
okay.
That's that vibration. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's vibration. And we know we're all energy. So
That's right.
once you were giving that energy, they lovingly were receiving it and really giving it right back to you.
Yeah, they
And I
did.
remember when I was in nursing school at the VA hospital doing my practical, I was around a lot of people who did not, hear. And I had a birthday party that year, and Spirit, at first I was like, kind of, should I invite them? They're not going to hear the music, but I know it's food, so they're going to eat. So I invited them. They tore it up. They partied too. They couldn't party. I mean, and on beat, and just never stopped the whole
Amazing.
time. Just that whole energy exchange, that vibration.
That vibration, the
was
frequency.
so amazing.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So amazing.
Is there, wouldn't there be a rhythm of joy just watching someone else moving up and down and stuff like that? Everything doesn't have to be, the vibration, of course, but, just seeing someone just, when you walk down the street and they got their headphones on and stuff, and you see them jamming and stuff, and you just, you got your own sound, you done created something, but we break you out of that. And the smile on your face, all of that. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And Sister Dooney, you as a musician, as a vocalist would pick that up. I just heard your next song, Vibration of Joy.
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna write it down.
Well, I just saw your next workshop giving us the movements. You just did. We could all feel it. We all felt like moving and we didn't hear a sound.
Okay, I'm gonna be calling you, Mama Yaba.
Boo.
Put that song, so we can put that song together now. Vibration.
All right, all right. Whatever
and
you
now
want
wheelie. Get some words to it and stuff. Hey, man, I say.
Speaking of sounds. Oh, excuse me.
No, I just wanted to say, and then I give it to you, that no, I'm going to wait till we bring the doctor for the female organs and stuff. I'll wait till then. Go right ahead.
I'm on this Facebook group for deaf, and it is so beautiful. I've always been intrigued with sign language, and this Facebook page they have majority of the members are deaf, and I don't know what because I'm learning, but just to watch their expression and their emotion. They have a couple folks that come on and say they want to sing this song, and they sing this song with their hands, and just like they can't hear us and I'm not understanding them, it's still beautiful because you can feel it from the soul and the spirit, because they talk about the water and they talk about love, and and whether you get it or not, you get it, just the movement and the vibration and the sound. So it's just, like I said, it's more to it than just speaking it. It's acting it, it's showing it. Naiwili said that it's the vibration, it's the frequency. And when you tap in, you can enjoy it.
Yes. So on that note, I would like to lead you all in some sign language that I do to close each and every one.
We don't see you, dear. We don't see you. No,
we're not on the screen.
Oops. Okay. How do I get back? Okay. There I go.
Come back.
Okay.
There you are.
Thank you.
So I would like to lead you all in the poem that grabbed me when I first started teaching yoga. It's peace, love, and joy. And I approached someone who is a sign language master to teach me it in sign language. So I would like to lead everyone in that. So I'm going to ask you to take your hands opposite each other, right at your heart center. And every time we brush our hands, that's a symbol for peace. This at our chest is love.
Love.
And then this is joy. Just, okay? So I'm going to speak the words first, and then we'll do the movements. So the words to the poem are peace. I'll do it. So you guys can just watch first. So we're going to go peace before me, peace behind me, peace to my left, peace to my right, peace above me, peace below me, peace unto me, peace to all, peace to our universe.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, so we're going to do it. What we'll do is we'll speak it as we do it. We'll do peace, love, and joy. And then we will just do all three of them with just the language of sign language. Y'all in?
Yeah.
So bringing our precious arms up to our heart center. Let's inhale. And exhale to begin. Peace before me, peace behind me, peace to my left, peace to my right, peace above me, peace below me, peace unto me, peace to all, peace to the universe. And let's embrace love. Here we keep going. Love.
Love.
Before me. Love behind me. Love to my left. Love to my right. Love above me. Love below me. Love unto me. Love to all. Love to the universe. And with joy, joy before me, joy behind me, joy to my left, joy to my right, joy above me, joy below me, joy unto me, joy to all, joy to the universe. So now we're just going to do it with no words. Zipping it. This is our language in our hands. Here we go. And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Ashe, Ashe.
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 Asante Sana.
Namaste, namaste, namaste.
Peace and love.
That's beautiful.
So any closing comments or sharing?
Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
gratitude.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you. Thank you, Nawili. Thank you,
Oh,
Nawili.
Asante. Oh, Janet, I love you. Oh my God.
You too.
That's my baby, my spirit daughter. Are you still in Vermont?
Yes, I am. And
with her family. She's a new mother. Happy
mom.
Mother's Day.
Thank
Happy
you.
Mother's
Happy
Day.
Mother's Day to you and everyone.
To
Happy
everyone.
Mother's Day.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yes. Happy Mother's Day. Oh,
Happy
We'll
my
say
Mother's
gosh.
hi real
Day.
quick. Let's say hi. Say hi.
Oh,
Oh,
hi.
Oh, I
Oh,
just wanna kiss them cheeks.
Oh,
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
beautiful.
That's a boy, that's a joy, a
oh
bundle
my
of joy
God.
right there.
Boy, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
precious. Beautiful,
much
beautiful.
love.
How old
So
is
he's been
he?
listening in this morning as well. So
How
Oh,
old is he?
say his
How
name
old?
for us,
he's,
Janet.
he's 5 months,
Oh,
and
he's
his name is Mahelu Muita.
Mahaley, strong.
Mahelu, Mahelu.
Mahelu.
hey.
Oh,
Yeah.
What does it
Okay.
mean?
He's like, okay, that's enough.
What does it mean? His name?
Oh, the first name Mahelu, I made that up just thinking about, what could be unique as a name for my baby, and just thinking about just who he is, because we didn't name him until days after he was born. And then Muita is the Egyptian version of Moses, maybe the original word for Moses. And so that means well, loosely translated, he came from the water.
okay.
Did you have him natural? I mean, did you go in the hospital or did you do
I
it?
went into the hospital. I had a cesarean though. I was in labor for like 26 hours, and he was not coming out vaginally because he was so big and he wasn't flush up against my cervix.
Yeah.
And I tried everything to do it vaginally, but it got to the point where it was a life and death thing, and so we had to do a cesarean. And that was scary and traumatic, but he's here, and he weighed 9 pounds 7 ounces coming out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I'm happy and he's happy, and just enjoing everything. So, and thank
may
you
I
all.
ask, may I ask who is my Wi-Fi, my Fifi?
Oh, let me mute.
My Fifi. Can you unmute yourself and share who you are? Okay, there we go. Okay. Welcome. Is this your first time joining us? She'll be connecting in a second. Okay, we'll just keep on moving.
Okay.
Janet,
Fana?
Yes.
Janet, how do you spell?
Mahelu.
Yeah.
Maheielu.
Lu. Because everything, you just made it up, but everything has a meaning. So we got to break down the name and break down. And if Dr. Yaba's there, she's Tahuti, she's into words, and that's her field of expertise when it comes to breaking down words, and she'll have the meaning for you, what it means.
Oh man, that would be lovely, because it was just a matter of I was creating names before I had a baby, and I knew that I wanted to name my child this name, but I didn't want to give him the name unless it was his name. So that's why we waited to see, and we had other names and whatnot, because I didn't know if I was having a boy or girl. We wanted to just wait until I had the baby.
Oh.
So he told us in about 3 days. I was in the hospital for maybe 4 or 5 days after the birth, but the third day we knew he's Mahelu Muita.
Beautiful.
And I actually met Janet in Los Angeles. She is a DC native. She was going to school, working on her master's at Otis Art College. And now she's a beloved mom and wife and in Vermont. Look at the divine connection. You know.
Exactly. I am so happy and thankful and just grateful and just any other words that express gratitude for meeting Mama Wheelie, like my mom on the West Coast. You know, the love and what I've learned from her and continue to learn from her. I'm just, you know, I'm extremely thankful. So thank you again, Mama Wheelie. Thank you again.
Thank
I
you.
can't even say thank you enough.
Oh, I love you, love you, love you.
I love you too.
Mhm.
Now, Willie, you want to in close us out? I'm going to play one of your songs.
Sure. Okay. So a little on the song. It is Ricky Byers, one of our LA wonderful trees, spiritual woman, shaman, healer. So I'd like to play if you can, Land. Sorry. I was trying to get the other stuff off the screen. Land of I Am.
Yeah.
And you guys, ladies, Elizabeth, just listen to the words. We are, I am that I am, and just know it. It's a beautiful, beautiful tune. Mm-hmm.
As we go out, we want to, before we start it, we want to unmute ourselves and thank Nawili and her team.
Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Ayana.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. We
This
appreciate
has
all
been
of
so
you.
rich. God bless you. Thank
Oh,
you.
bless
Thank
you. I
you.
love
Be the
you.
last one.
That's
Thank you,
true. That's
Love
true.
you
sisters.
guys.
Look at all that. Look, look
So
at that.
wonderful.
Shay,
Oh,
sister.
yeah, Mark. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 of them up there. Oops.
Mwah.
Ooh, sweet.
That was beautiful.
I feel that.
Yes.
I feel that.
Can we
Thank
have it?
you.
How do
Thank
we
you.
get
Namaste.
it? How do we
Mhm.
get it, please?
Yes.
Her name is Ricky Byers. It's off. Sheila.
Well, actually, if you just go to YouTube and put in the land of I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That's so awesome.
Yes. I'll see you all tomorrow. We're going to
Love
talk
you
about
guys.
your
Love
Elizabeth
you.
Yes.
bringing forth your babies.
Yes.
Peace, everyone. Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you,
Likewise.
sister.
Love
See you
y'all.
Oh, love you,
Bye.
April.
Hi, April.
Tomorrow.
Bye-bye,
Love
everyone.
you.
Bye,
Love you,
Georgie.
Janet. Janet.
Bye,
Love you
Peace and
guys.
love, all of you.
All
Happy
right. Peace,
Thursday.
Thank you,
Cynthia.
baby.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Thank you, Reverend Ruth.
Thank
Love
you.
guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you,
For the
Georgiana.
West Coast, East Coast
Much
connection.
Thank
love.
you, Georgie.
Thank you, my Fifi. One day we'll see you.
Thank you, my Fifi.
Have
See
a
ya.
great day.
Thank you, Georgie.
Okay, girl.
Love you. I'm gonna
Thank
ice
you.
skate when I'll be in LA tomorrow.
Okay, we gotta see. We gotta hook up.
I want to ice skate.
Okay.
All
You'll
right.
be here.
Okay.
You'll be here tomorrow.
I'll be there tomorrow night.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Peace
Alrighty.
out.
All right.
Okay.
Peace.
Peace. Love you.